Today we've got a 1 by 1 by 3.5 block. We're going to start with that top line there. Is 7/8 of an inch from the top. Second line is 1 1/8 from the top. You're going to go all the way around with these lines, all 4 of these lines. Third one is 1 1/2 from the top. Bottom is 3/8 from the bottom. Okay, so 7/8, 1 1/8, 1 1/2, all from the top, and the bottom line is 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. Okay, so let's start out by putting this notch above that top line. Just stop cut in there and cut down to it on all 4 corners. Alright, so let's connect those cuts with another stop cut. Let's go ahead and shave a lot of this back on top. On each one of these corners. Just shave it back. All right, let's go to that second line. We're just going to put a little bit of cut in there. Just to show us where it is. And we're going to eventually take these corners out, so we'll have to go a little deeper. eventually anyway. You can take these corners off right now. So let's go ahead and go in a little deeper on these. And these corners right up underneath. And we'll connect. Not as deep as the top. Just connect these sides again. Let's go on and take these corners down. That's going to be a round. Top part of that is going to be a round anyway. All right, let's take these bottom corners off. All right, now let's go around that bottom line. Put your little stop cut in, not too awful deep. Down from the top, not the bottom. Alright, so you got a little notch all the way across that 3/8 line at the bottom. Not too deep. Alright, now let's go down to this last line, this third line down, which is the 1 1/2 line. And let's put in a stop cut and cut up into it. And this one can be pretty deep. go around it again. Get on in there a little deeper. Okay, so now you want to go around the whole carve here. In this area right here, you want about the same amount from the depth of the cut out to the edge, all the way around. You want about that same width there. Alright, so now we're going to cut this at an angle from inside out towards the top, all the way around this area. So you're going to start in, you're going to go from the top back in towards that bottom. You can take it a little bit at a time. We'll just take little chunks here back towards, at a 45-degree angle, back towards this cut inside here. Just keep taking a little bit more at a time until you get a nice rounded edge from the top down to this area. All right, now we're going to take a little bit and just make it a straight edge. Make it a straight cut all the way around, about 1/8 of an inch down or so. Just try to make this a straight line right here. Cutting straight up into this next level here. All right, so let's taper this out. We want to start up here. The lighthouse goes from this area in here and it works its way out. So let's start trimming this back towards the top and trying to make it even as you go. And eventually we'll taper down to that bottom. Take some of those edges off at the bottom there. We'll keep thinning towards the top. Okay, let's round these corners off here at the bottom too. Just round it off real good all the way around. Get off all that excess. So one thing we've got to have is this outside has got to fit on the inside of the base. So we're gonna cut this back enough so it fits on the inside, and then we'll take off what we need on the middle and on the top. So just get you some nice, flatten your knife out, nice flat cuts. Alright, so let's take off. Let's start at the bottom and start working our way up. All the way around. Just a little bit at a time. Now let's start taking that middle out towards the top, thinning it up, just a little at a time. We're just going to work our way towards the top. See if we can get that angle cut towards the top for a lighthouse. And we'll go up to the middle, take a little bit more. And watching your cuts as you go and just taking off those corners. Don't want to take too much at a time. And then we'll come up and take more off towards the top. If you see little bulging areas, then take those off. Rotate it around, see where you need to take more. And if it's too small inside your base, we'll cut that base down later. Just trying to get that tapered look that a lighthouse has. From top to bottom, from bottom to top. Okay, let's go back in here and take some more of this off again. Come back, start at the very top, come back, tip of your knife all the way up and just angle down towards this cut. If we can't smooth that off all the way around, give it a look of a angle towards the top, from the bottom to the top. Almost there. This all looks too big right now, but we'll fix that shortly. And come in and give you more defined line here. All right, now let's start taking this top down. A little bit at a time, just take some chunks down towards this little platform right here and cut those off a little at a time. to look there at the top, look down into your carving and see where you need a little more off. Let's keep taking this top off now. We've got a little room to work. All right, now let's go straight down. Let's go to the midway point here. Might want to draw you a little line in. Halfway, all the way around. Now let's put a stop cut in here and cut down to that stop cut. All the way around the top. All right, now let's work our way all the way around. A little bit more. Check your top, see where you need a little more taken off to keep that circular shape. We want it about 3/16 of an inch. 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch smaller than this level underneath of it. So you need at least 1/8 in here, maybe a little bit more. And cut some of that top off. And when you get towards the top here, it doesn't take very big cuts to change it a whole lot. So little cuts, little thin cuts. and straighten it out again. Alright, so here at the very top, we're going to make a, right at the halfway point again, draw your line all the way around. To halfway point. And we're going to start at that line, taking off towards the top of the middle. Towards this very top middle. Right on the line, straight up. Nope, my thumb hasn't been in the way the whole entire time. All right, now let's work on this guy a little bit. Let's round this guy off. Take all your flat edges off, take all your corners off, round it, check from the top, take off more where you need to. Right there. All right, now if you've got, yours looks like mine, then this little guy right here needs to be straightened up a little bit. Thicker spots, take them a little bit more out. Still a little too big here. Let's keep taking a little bit more off. Rounding as we go. Alright, now I'm going to take this little edge off the bottom here. About a 1/16 of an inch or so all the way around. Do the same on the very top. Careful that your end of your knife doesn't end up on your candle area. And I'm not doing a very good job of it. Just the tip of your knife. So I've got a line drawn in here about 1/8 of an inch down all the way around, and then I've got about five or six of these little, we're going to call them beams. They come down top from that line down to the corner, and we're going to cut those out. Those are going to be represent some support beams that are going up to the top. So we're going to cut this area out in here. Okay. I've also I did a little V-cut on the top just to separate. You see that on the top up there? But this is the area right here that I'm going to put the light in, put the glow in. Okay. So let's start out. We're going to cut just a little bit in here and then across to the other beam line, back down. We're going to take that out. We might leave that middle in here. I'm going to see what it looks like after we've got the middle taken out, or all the way around it taken out. So let's leave this in for now. We may still get that look of a beam even if we leave that middle in there. So we're going to keep going around, do the same thing. See what we come up with. Cut out those sides first. And the top. Keep going around. So this is actually the next day, carving this little guy. I stopped last night and new forecast that had come in today that says we're supposed to get quite a bit of snow later on today. Half a foot to 9 inches. So we might be, I know that's not a lot to some of you, but it is for our neck of the woods. And I might speed this up on the video just to get through this a little bit quicker. Just going to keep doing the same thing all the way around. Take the sides out and take that top. You hear me snip a lot during the video. I get it warm out in the garage and then I turn the heaters off, but it's still kind of chilly out here. Alright, so there's the beams kind of cut in there. Now what I'm going to do here on the bottom is I'm going to take some slices about 1/2 inch long, make some flat spots on this base. And I may paint some little bricks in here on the base. Okay, so I've drawn in for the windows up here. I've just kind of penciled them in, and I'm gonna separate those with some black lines, and then put a little, probably some orange and yellow in for a glow right there. But the last thing I want to do here is cut up to another little level here, about 1/8 of an inch down. Give us another look of another level. Just go a little bit at a time, nice and slow. Go around and kind of even it up all the way around. Make your straight lines. All right, so I'm going to take these little fuzzies out, and we're about ready for paint.